it. Welcome to the Texas Sports Unfiltered Postgame show brought to you by Covert Bee Cave and Audiovisual Consultations. I am Zay Collier, joined by my main man, Wags, Adam Wagner. The Texas Longhorns down 17 points headed into the fourth quarter, pull off a victory in overtime, beating the Mississippi State Bulldogs 45-38 to go 6-2 overall, 3-1 in the SEC with all the BS that has gone on today. Steve Sarkeesian just all over social media for rumors on going to the NFL, which his agency deaded early after that, but the Athletic put it out today, and you would think, man, this Longhorn team that hasn't been very good, they got a lot more distractions other than their offensive line going to Starkville today. It looked ugly for about 3 quarters, but Wags, man, fourth quarter was something special. 24 points in the fourth quarter. Arch Manning battling his ass off, going to overtime. Arch Manning runs for a first down, gets absolutely clobbered. Hope he's okay. It doesn't look good from my lens and where I was sitting. That dude, I hope he's not concussed, but you've seen that type of hit before and that reaction before. But here comes Matthew Caldwell, the guy that a lot of Texas folks have been saying, put him in. Where the hell? Caldwell, damn it. Arch Manning, put in Matthew Caldwell. See what he's got, Sark. And Matthew Caldwell, the only pass of the game, fade route to Emmett Mosley the fifth. Welcome to Texas football, Emmett Mosley the fifth. I don't know how he got that toe down, but he got it. Little ballerina on that, just some finesse. Yeah, some finesse. Just sprinkle a little, sauce on that. And man, Mississippi State, I don't know if Texas stole this one or Mississippi State gave it away, Wags. Because for one, who the hell's kicking to Ryan Niblett at this point?
Okay, so to that, as soon as that ball got booted, because that ball was leashed, that was a howitzer of a punt, right? Outkicked the coverage. And as I said, oh my God, we might have a chance, right? And as soon as he broke that first tackle, I said, that's it. It's done. Like a lot of people say like they knew, but I kind of had a feeling once I saw how long that kick was. And then as soon as I saw that first chip block, I was like, that's it. He sprung. Or once not the chip block, but once he broke the tackle, like once he was able to stay up and beat the one-on-one and then go down the sideline, I didn't know no one was going to catch him. Play of the game. I know that I understand the dime dropped on a platter by Caldwell was the game winner, but I mean, without Niblett's consecutive punt return for a touchdown, we don't get into that position. So yeah, play of the game, man. Special teams.
Yeah, like
special teams, bro.
Great blocks, man. Saw 51 get out there. I always mess his name up. He's the former walk-on that got put on scholarship, but yeah, like that game. That first 3 quarters, it was rough. It was rough. You're seeing the same old drop passes. Ryan Wingo, as well as he played overall, he had some bad drops at some crucial times in this game. But this offensive line, when it comes to running the game, still not consistent. I mean, 72 yards.
It's weird, right? Because I saw spurts where there was domination up front in the trenches, and then it's just like, okay, we're gonna have some miscues here. We're gonna take some plays off. It looks like they get fatigued very fast, and once that happens, they lose their shit.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's not like that's. I'm not trying to be hyperbolic. Like clearly, when you're on the field, you're gonna get fatigued, right? But I mean, there's something. To the defense's point, right? The defense was on the field almost all damn night. So clearly there's going to be some mishaps. They're going to let up a lot of points, right? Thankfully they buckled up and knuckled down at the end there. But I mean, like when you have that much fatigue, not just physical, lapses happen, but mental lapses happen, breakdowns happen. Say it's we've all played, man. You know that.
Yeah, for sure. And again, this Texas team had a lot of adversity coming into this game. Just a lot of folks, including myself. I didn't pick Texas to win tonight. Why would I? Like, why would I pick this team of where this offensive line was? Which, again, 3 quarters, this team was mediocre. Like, kind of what we saw last week against Kentucky. They couldn't move the ball. Arch was getting hit, every other play, it seemed like, which I'm not surprised at all. Arch Manning is now dealing with an injury. Who knows what that might be? Again, he looked like he just had that really just.
I wasn't sure if it was his ankle or his head when it first happened.
The way that his head hit the turf, it didn't look good. And then the way he got up, it's like, shit, man. Like, I mean, it's going to catch up with him eventually. The way he's been getting knocked around all season. And shout out to him for still sticking in there and making some big time throws, man. Like, he was amazing in that fourth quarter. And they were able to hold up to where they could get the ball down the field, Wags. They didn't have to go to that short game because Mississippi State, they got fatigued. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. Florida, you think about Kentucky, both of those teams were coming off of byes. So you got more energy coming off of those bye games. Mississippi State, they had the dogfight last week in Gainesville. So, yeah, that adrenaline playing at home, that can only take you so far. Once that fourth quarter came around, the Mississippi State players, they were dragging ass. Especially defensively, you were able to hit them with those out routes, man. You were able to hit them with those comeback routes, though, hit them down the field. Ryan Wingo, even though he dropped those passes, you were able to hit him on explosive plays where he was able to beat this guy down the field, and Arch Manning was throwing that thing on the dot. So you wonder, if you're a Texas fan, shit, why did it take to the fourth quarter to finally figure it out? Why did they have every Texas fan's blood pressure just rising out the ass through 3 quarters to come out and score 24 straight points? Yeah. Like, you're down 31-14. You put up 45. You're down 31-14 going into the fourth quarter. You end the game winning 45-38.
Yeah, no, I am with you, amigo. And is it weird that a couple of things here? Is it weird, like, with all the narrative about the mafia and gambling in the air these past couple of weeks? Is it weird that I'm sitting here thinking, all right, somebody's hitting the Buffalo Wild Wings button and we're watching some extra football on purpose here? Texas just decided to dial it up. I'm bullshit.
Chauncey Billups, man. Free Chauncey.
He's just trying to make some glasses. By the way, did you see Jimmy Butler surfacing?
I did not see that.
He's networking and going around at the tables too with some glasses on, mind you, with some solid glasses on, so he can see through the cards.
Man, gotta watch these guys, man. But
he's just trying to make a buck. It's just somebody trying to make $1. That's it. Just trying to gain a tactical advantage. I can't fault that.
I can't fault that, man.
You ain't trying. But no, real quick to that, man. You said some key pointers. Hitting the out routes, hitting the intermediate routes, right? Not having to go through the air to get the chunk plays, right? We were getting chunk yardage, and a couple of them, sure, absolutely strikes through the air, like absolute daggers and dimes through the air, right? But it's when those teams get fatigued and you can run those intermediate out routes and get a player in one-on-one and then allow the defense to make a mistake. I've been screaming this shit from the basement of my mom's house, right? Just saying, like, let me out of here, please. Let the nerd come out of doing this stat stuff here and let me tell you about how you just got to make a defense miss. That's it. Just put them in a position to make a mistake. That's literally all it is, man. And usually 9 times out of 10, you can capitalize on their mistakes.
Yeah. And that Mississippi State team, they started making mistakes. And Steve Sarkeesian started to figure it out. Arch Manning stood tall, delivered some big-time throws, and now you're looking ahead. Depending on Arch Manning's status, Vanderbilt won a dogfight today against Missouri, and they're coming into your town next week, and that's going to be a huge game that has big-time SEC implications. And will Arch Manning be available? And, because I get Texas fans are really high on Matthew Caldwell. I get it. The time that he's had out there, he's delivered some strikes. He might have delivered the pass of the game to Emmett Mosley the fifth in overtime. But
Arch looked great too last year.
Arch looked really good. Arch looked really good last year. Arch looked really good in the fourth quarter. Now you're playing against a solid Vanderbilt team. If Matthew Caldwell is your starter, how's that going to look? Because, I mean, you could say this guy's going to be Tom Brady and Arch Manning's Drew Bledsoe. We don't know that shit. We don't really know. We just seen a little snippet. Now, what works to their advantage if you're Texas, nobody knows film on Matthew Caldwell. Are you going to go back to his Troy film?
Right. Or any of the other three programs that
I
he's
don't
been
even know
in.
where the hell he went. Like, we're going to be doing some serious thinking on Matthew Caldwell.
He's been playing the field, man. He's been taking advantage of the portal.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely been a transfer portal slut. That's for sure. He's been getting around more than Tupac. But, yeah, Mississippi State, they should be on some serious just watch, man. Mississippi State, Jeff Lebby, you might have blown the game, bro. Like, you might have really, your team just self-inflicting wounds. You got the play where on the field goal, the dude dives at the legs. Texas stays on the field, scores. You got the play in the fourth quarter. Arch Manning, fourth down, throws a horrible pass. It would have been turnover on downs, but Mississippi State player, ignorant, hits Arch Manning. Laundry comes out. Like, and then
I'd say it wouldn't even matter because it was right in front of the refs. Because remember the one play where Arch was scrambling for the third down conversion and could have had it, but the leg whip, not even a leg whip, the trip, deliberate trip, right in front of the referee, who is right behind the linebacker, mind you, observing the line of scrimmage, who has the vision of that play and did not make the call, did not throw the yellow flag on the field. So maybe he really didn't see it, but he was in great position to see it. I'll say that.
Yeah. Like they appreciate it. Like,
right.
If a team's gonna give you life, your job is to take that life and then take it out of theirs. Like, that's your job to do. Texas did that. It is what it is. Mississippi State,
dude,
for real. They might be first for real.
For 3.5 quarters, Mississippi State beat Texas in almost every facet of the game.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then all of a sudden, just a mirror. I mean, God, Shipley missed a field goal. Right? Like, come on. Like, everything was just off, dude. Everything was off, man. And then all of a sudden it clicked. I don't. Football's just weird sometimes, man. Yeah. Football's just weird.
Yeah, Parker Livingston made some big time catches. Like, there were some big time toe draggers tonight. Like Parker Livingston on that out route, there wasn't much room for him to get this toe down. Arch Manning put it on the place where only that Parker Livingston could catch it. Like, that play where Arch threw the interception to 6'4", brother. I know folks were saying Parker Livingston has to catch that ball. That's a hard catch right there. Like, not everybody's Jamar Chase. Not everybody's Justin Jefferson. Guys like that make those types of catches. Now, Parker Livingston, he might be the MVP thus far for the offense this season, but I don't know if he's that caliber receiver yet. Low key, that was a hospital ball.
Is Jones 6'4"? Is Jones 6'4"?
Oh, yeah.
He is huge. He might be going to the NFL just on size, bro.
Oh, yeah. You got to give him a look. Like, he a little raw, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, you got to give him a look because 6'4" with that speed, he's got something to him. But you can tell this defense, they missed Michael Taft early,
But to that, though, I thought, I thought Muhammad played great. I thought McDonald played great. I thought the secondary, when they needed to, came up and made the plays. But, I mean, that's no surprise. They've always been able to come up, play downhill, and force fills, right?
Yeah, but just the communication part. Like, there were too many balls down the middle of the field, that RPO action. Like, just think about how many situations Michael Taft gets this defense out of just pre-snap alone. just by knowing the play, knowing game film, IQ, experience, etc. I thought, those guys came along and they started making plays, and 7 sacks, Wags, that's the game right there. Like Texas, 7 sacks, Anthony Hill, 2.5 sacks, Alex January, his best game as a Longhorn, 1.5.
Yeah, that's probably my defensive player of the game. Not to pull the curtain back or anything, but I mean, he just not just the recover fumblery, but God, I can't talk. Recover fumble.
There we go.
There you go. Recovered fumble. Couldn't get it out, man. But not just that play, but being able to stick the run, being able to just come up clutch and just plug the gaps on almost every third and short play. And clogging gaps makes a lot of people become available, right? Allows people to scrape and get off double teams and allows people to get those late sacks and strips. I thought Alex January was doing plays that didn't really show up on the stat sheet too. So he's just my defense player of the game.
Yeah, Hero Canoe, he was solid. And that pressure, it really started to get to Blake Shapen. And once that started happening and they started turning them over and getting those 3 and outs, and Texas started to score, everybody got tight with Mississippi State. And then just mentally, you knew that shit was creeping in their head, Wags, because you haven't won a SEC game in forever.
2 years.
2 years. That's a long-ass time. That's a long-ass time. Some folks were still wearing masks out here 2 years ago. Like, that's a long-ass time ago. Just keep it in a buck. And then, like, especially how last week went, they were supposed to win last week. Blake Shapen throws a horrible interception.
Oh, yeah.
350-pound defensive lineman to lose.
Dude just jumped up to the ceiling. So
you're cursed. If you're Mississippi State, you're thinking we are cursed with how this game against Texas went.
Or that has to be in the back of your mind, right?
Easy. It's easy. It's in the back of their mind. They got the yips. And former Texas players, now Mississippi State Bulldogs, Brendan Thompson, Darian Gillette, all like
Gillette balled out.
The man's name. That the defensive tackle. I can't think of his name right now. Jere Bledsoe. All those guys made plays today. All those guys, they used to wear the burnt orange. Now they're rocking that maroon and white. They were all making plays today. Brendan Thompson, you could tell he was turned up. Brendan Thompson's good, man. That dude, he's come a long way. That dude can fly. Like, he out here talking his shit. Like, I salute Brendan Thompson, man. I know he's on his hate watch.
He had 2 today, right?
Yeah, he had 2 today. And he was letting them know. Like, on that second one.
Yeah, he did. He had 2.
Yeah, Jalen Gilbo, like, ran up on him a little bit, and there was a little bit of contact, and Brendan Thompson looked at him like, yeah, you want some of this? And I was like, oh, shit. That's when I was like, this game's over.
Yeah, Gilbo was hurting. Gilbo was hurting a little bit today, man.
He's been all right.
He was hurting today.
I think he's better as a nickel star guy than he is as an outside corner. He hasn't made the jump that Jahdae Barron made when he went from that star nickel position to outside.
That's a tough jump, right?
It's a tough jump.
That's 2 different positions all in general. Like a nickel back and a straight up corner. You're playing on an island where you're playing usually in the zone or playing underneath somewhere.
Yeah, and also like Jahdae Barron, come on, that dude.
Yeah, that's a Sunday player. I mean,
he's a different type of guy. Right. He's a different type of cat.
That's an all-league player, bro. That's an all-league player.
Jalen Gilbo, he plays hard. You'll take that. But yeah, today was the first time you really saw the defense get gutted. And again, with the Athletic article coming out today, Wags, on Steve Sarkeesian.
Very conveniently timed, right? Like a conveniently timed drop, too, right?
Yeah.
Almost like somebody from Mississippi State might have dropped that. I don't know.
Yeah, if y'all don't know, Diana Rossini of The Athletic, which is very credible columnist out here. She does good work for The Athletic. The Athletic has been wilding lately with their things about Texas, but she went out and said that she heard from representatives that Texas coach Steve Sarkeesian and his team has let NFL decision makers know that he would be interested in a potential head coaching job, which that includes the Tennessee Titans. Sark's agency put out a post a little bit after that saying all these rumors are completely false. So you would think that, damn, like you said, Wags, where did this come from? This is horrible timing. This is the last thing this Texas team needs right now. Ain't no way they're going to be winning this game in Starkville because there's just so many distractions. That dark cloud is just hanging over the program. And for them to stay in it, Ethan Burke had some big time plays toward the end of the game. Like, just, no Mookie Taft. I can't preach that enough. Like, he's so important to your defense from a leadership standpoint. He's an All-American from a playing standpoint. And all the adversity, Wags, that this Texas team has been dealing with, to come back and win the game that they did today. I understand Mississippi State is Mississippi State, but that's a big-time win. And if you're a Texas fan, you should be proud of that performance today. That the team, they should celebrate that performance. They deserved it. Hey, hell of a comeback. And somehow, some way, everything's still in front of you. All your goals and aspirations, they're still in front of you. I'm still not as optimistic as maybe others are, but hey, they're still in the hunt. They're still in the mix to potentially get to Atlanta to play for SEC championship, potentially get to the college football playoff. And that's all you could ask for this time of the year with 2 losses.
So I agree with you on some points, but I do have like some reservations and concerns, right? Like, if we're winning like this, clearly we're not doing the basics right. And to that point, I mean, 9 penalties, that's, I like that we're protecting the ball. 1 interception, and that's, when, again, you're going up against a freak athlete, like you mentioned with Jones being 6'4" there. And he just outballed Livingston there. But you're protecting the ball. All right. I think Arch had two interceptions last week, but besides that, I feel like,
last week.
Or no, then sorry, I might be
he hasn't thrown a pick since Florida.
I think you're right. Florida, he had 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
2 interceptions against Florida because he was clean against Oklahoma. So, but yeah, I mean, it's been protecting the ball pretty well, but ultimately the things that have kind of been killing us have been the drive killers, right? Like, or drive stallers, stuff that just haven't been able to allow the drive to even pick up and get going. And that's the false starts, the untimely false starts. There's holding on every play, which I'll kind of give you a little grace on that, because it really is. It's subjective at this point, and it could be called at any time, right?
Yeah.
But the false starts, that's just unacceptable. Like, that's inexcusable. That's stuff that's got to be more disciplined. And it comes at really critical moments that just absolutely take you out of a game, right? To where you have to rely on the defense and the special teams. And if that's I love the resiliency. I love the way that you're winning at times in close and clutch games and clutch moments. But still, when you have to win like this, it has to give you some type of pause or some type of concern that this, it's you got to be able to shore up some of the basic stuff. That's how it is. And a lot of that's blocking. We've harped on this, right? Like, how do you keep missing these assignments up front? Like how do you do that, right? How do you fail to get to the edge and not even make contact with a defender, right? Like, that's inexcusable as a lineman as well, right? If you're going to go out there, hell, just hit somebody that's already being blocked so they don't so they don't come off a block. And this is my third point on this. Stick to your block, right? I see a lot of people out there blocking, but they're not sticking to their block, and people are coming off their blocks and making the tackle, right? It's almost like, in to the defensive point, I say this from time to time, it seems like people are waiting because they know they're surrounded by athleticism and talent. It's like they're waiting for someone else to make the play because they know they can, instead of 8 hats firing to the ball, which was happening so much and so often last season. That's kind of basic football that you have to do week in and week out if you want to be victorious.
For sure. You got to play through the whistle. This team's nasty. It's not where you want it to be for a championship team. And specifically, this offensive line, they're nasty. And shout out to DJ Campbell. I thought when DJ Campbell went out, I was like, oh, shit.
Gutted it out, yeah.
Only guy that's been somewhat like productive consistently lately is DJ Campbell, and him going out and Connor Stroh coming in. That's not good. DJ Campbell came back into the game, gutted it out. And that fourth quarter, man, the defense, the O-line, they were solid. They were solid. They were giving Arch time to get the ball down.
It's right effing there. And you saw what he's able to do when he has time. He looks like a Sunday quarterback, man. Yeah, stuff's delivered on a platter. It's just, I don't know. It's not easy to throw when you're getting, your jersey tugged on a second and a half after you're dropping back. And I said this, I asked this to BK too. Am I too critical on Arch because I feel like he's not even going through his reads, right? And then BK's just like, he counters back and says, hey, I think a lot of time the trick is to kind of get the ball out early because he's not having enough time to go through his read. So again, to that point, you saw what he is able to do once, he gets the time and the ability up front with the blocking.
He's a tough son of a bitch, man. Like, I hope he's okay. I hope he's able to play next week against Vanderbilt. I know he wants to. Again, that hit, which he got a huge first down in overtime using his legs. Out of all the times he gets hit, and he continues to stick in that pocket, and he continues to move around and try to keep his eyes up the field, knowing how leaky this offensive line is. Like, his mental toughness, I get he's had the yips at times. There's throws where you're like, God, who's that to? You see his mechanics, right. You see his legs spread out apart, a little too wide, or he looks like a baseball pitcher at times. And you're like, oh, that's not good. You see him kind of like chopping his feet sometimes before he goes into his throwing mechanics, but that throw to Ryan Wingo down the field where he escaped the pocket a little bit, that throw's so elite. That's such an elite throw, man. And think about the drops that he had today. Ryan Wingo, that's a touchdown on that slant.
Yeah.
Bro. That's a drop. Jack Indries, I thought he had a drop in the end zone that even though it was a little contested.
That's still okay. It hit his hands. That's a catchable ball. That's a catchable ball.
Same with Parker Livingston on that interception. I get it. It was a hospital ball, but, hey, you're making big-time money, Parker Livingston. I see your brothers doing their thing on TikTok. Like, y'all doing y'all's thing. Parker Livingston, I feel like you expect to make those catches. So once it gets in your hands, you want to be a Sunday player, you're going to have to come down with that. You dig? But, man, Arch needs toughness. That's one thing I will never question. I hope he's available. Again, if not, Matthew Caldwell, welcome to the show. He got a little taste tonight with that beautiful pass to Emmett Mosley V, and the Longhorns, they get the dub in Starkville to finish off a 4-game slate all on the road.
Coming back home, too. Coming back home. I mean, what a gauntlet. I mean, seriously, like, it just the SEC alone is a gauntlet, but going on the road for a month, that's one hell of a gauntlet. And I know one was a neutral site, but still, that in itself is chaotic in a circus, right? Real quick, just one last thing on Arch. You saw a little bit of his X factor tonight, too, right? It's his wheels. And I'm not just talking about designed runs. Like, that's not his X factor. His X factor is his ability to use his wheels when a play breaks down and he can extend the play, right? Whether it's stepping up to buy more time or it's stepping up to get you 8 yards. I think that is the critical bag or the critical skill set that Arch has in his bag that needs to be utilized more. A lot of times he wants to stay loyal and true to the quarterback position itself and kind of make the throws or throw the ball away instead of kind of taking off with it and getting 3 or 4 yards. I get it. You're kind of preserving your body, but when he breaks the defense down that way and extends the play and takes off scrambling, that's where he kind of like his granddaddy, man. That's what makes him the X factor, man. That's what gives him his ability. We saw that last season, right? It's not so much the design plays. Again, it's the breakdown of the defense and when he scrambles.
Yep, he is Adam Wagner. I am Zay Collier. Texas gets a big-time win on the road against Mississippi State, 45-38 in overtime to go 6-2 overall, 3-1 in conference play. This is what Steve Sarkeesian had to say about the NFL reports that came out today, those rumors by Diana Rossini of The Athletic. Sark said, it really pisses me off that one person can make a report that in turn the entire media sports world runs with as factual to the point of my agency and my agents have to put out a statement that they have never done. I had to do that to protect my locker room and my team. So, yeah, like I had somebody like I put it out like, man, y'all were wilding. Texas fans, some of y'all were wilding today. I saw Saban rocking burnt orange today on Photoshop wags. I'm like, yo, y'all don't even, these are rumors. I get it. Diana Rossini, very credible source. She does a good job. Like, I'm not one to knock any journalists. It's kind of like innocent until proven guilty. Like, if somebody says something, okay, I want to wait until we find out the facts, but I'm not going to discredit Diana Rossini quite yet. But also, that's pretty left field shit right there.
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking up Brian Callahan's contract right now. I'm looking up Brian Callahan's contract for the Titans.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just, be careful. There's a lot of propaganda, fictional stuff going on right now. Like, let's chill here. So it's just, and people say it's Sark's agents. People say Sark's agents put out the leak because Sark's agency, they represent a lot of big time people and they're trying to get leverage for their guys by making Sark the bait. But again, Steve Sarkeesian said today, just now, that it's bogus. So I'm going to go on what Sark's saying until he's gone. Like, this is what he lived for. Think about his background at Wags. The dude was an alcoholic.
Yeah. No,
like, and I'm not saying that to just like go back to enter those demons. Like, I'm not like, he overcame that. So he understands that life is precious, meaning that when you get opportunities like he shouldn't have, like the guys that were in his situations were that down bad, don't get the opportunities very often to coach at the University of Texas. Usually they keep crashing. And if it wasn't for Nick Saban giving him another shot, Lane Kiffin put in a good word, we all know the rest, he wouldn't be here. So I don't think he would throw everything he's built the last 5 years to go to one of the worst teams in the league, Tennessee Titans, with no freaking weapons. The coach just got canned. Callahan's gone. He's probably in Turks and Caicos somewhere chilling. Like, why would you want that? You know
what Brian Callahan's contract was?
What?
$3 million. $3 million. All right. Now, I'm sure if Sark, hypothetical, we're playing shits and giggles here, right? If Sarkeesian were to go to the Titans, I'm sure he would negotiate somewhat of a better contract than $3 million, right? But he currently makes 10.8 as a Longhorns coach.
That's what I'm saying, man.
You're telling me he's going to go take a pay cut? Like, come on, man. He's got his world. It's his universe here at the 40. He ain't leaving that. What, for aspirations to coach Cam Ward?
L'Oreal ain't trying to go to Nashville, man. Come on. I love Nashville. Always got the bachelorette parties and stuff. The honeys be out popping. Broadway, little country music. You know what I'm saying? I might be black as shit, but I like a little country music. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You
probably know it better than me, man. You probably know it way better than I do.
Yeah, he ain't trying to go to Nashville, man. It's bogus.
He's not going. He's already done with it. He ain't going.
Yeah, they trying to tear the team apart, and now Sark out here getting huge culture wins.
He pulled the what's the Jordan? What's the dude from Wolf of Wall Street?
Oh, I just call him Leo. I never know.
He pulled the Leo.
Yeah,
I'm leaving.
Yeah,
I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
He shut it down, baby.
Appreciate y'all rocking with us on the Texas Sports Unfiltered post-game show brought to you by Covert Bee Cave and audiovisual consultations. Let's get a scoreboard update brought to you by Gobundance. Gobundance, man. Texas is built on legends, from Darrell K. Royal to Mac Brown, bringing home a natty, to Vince Young and Colt McCoy, and lighting it up at DKR. The Longhorn way is way more than talent. It's all about discipline, brotherhood, rising to the occasion, and that's what we represent at Gobundance, a community of high-achieving men and individuals, from business professionals, investors, leaders who push each other to help win. It's not just about business, it's about life. So if you want to be a champion like us at Gobundance, then join the team today. Go to www.gobundance.com/TSU. That's www.gobundance.com/TSU. Little scoreboard update, Wags. What we got going on? So let's get to some of the games that are over with today. Indiana took care of business, beating the dog crap out of UCLA 56-6. Alabama got an upset scare today, but ended up
everybody was having some trouble, dude.
Hey man, it gets like that. It's the SEC. It gets like that. 29-22 over the Gamecocks. Alabama still rolling. Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin going up into Norman and beating Oklahoma 34-26. Oklahoma's schedule only gets rougher as the season goes along. Let's see how that goes. Vanderbilt, Texas opponent next weekend, got a very grimy gutter victory against Missouri, 17-10. BYU beats Iowa State 41-27. Texas Tech bounces back, pissed off, and took all their anger out on Oklahoma State 42-0. Cincinnati beats Baylor 41-20. And that's our Gobundance score update. Wags, any games stick out to you today?
Yeah. I mean, it got to be Bama's comeback, right? Like, and also the game I was trying to watch was Mizzou and Vanderbilt. Like, but with Texas just struggling so mightily, it's hard to give your focus and attention here at the AV Consultation Studios, right? It's just sitting here. It's tough to give all my attention to Vandy when I got Texas just struggling mightily. So I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, hell, right now it's little brother, struggling against the Bayou Bengals right now. I mean, they're up 14-9, so that's kind of what I'm looking forward to seeing tonight, and then also game 2 of the World Series, I guess the America's pastime. What's going on? It's Halloween over there, man. You got some ghosts over there? What's going on?
Nah, man, just car outside, loud as shit,
bro. You need me to come over there?
No, I'm good, man. Just startled me a little bit, but
let's go.
Yeah,
I'm not just bringing me; I'm bringing the crew.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate that. No, I appreciate it. The Bayou Bengals, 14-9. A&M's leader right now. I think LSU got a safety in the game. So, Texas fans, I'm sure y'all are doing some hate watching with Texas A&M tonight. Let's get to our offensive player of the game, brought to you by Clean Cause. Our friends over at Clean Cause are on a mission to energize lives with a purpose. They craft refreshing, better for you, sparkling herbal mate and beverages that deliver a clean caffeine boost without the crash. Beyond energy, their brand is built on impact. 50% of the profits go to fun addiction, recovering housing, scholarships, and giving every sip a greater purpose. And they've donated over $3.8 million as a community, and they're just getting started. So check out their new flavors. The strawberry lemonade zero is on point. Has 0 calories, 0 sugar, absolutely refreshing and delicious. The packaging is new, it pops, and you can get Clean Cause anywhere in town. Grocery stores, convenience stores, or online at cleancause.com. Wags, your offensive player of the game, brought to you by Clean Cause. We actually have options this week. Usually we don't have options. So this is new. This is nice. This is a good feeling.
I think ultimately, though, I got to settle on Ryan Wingo. I mean, just absolutely exploding and going off, being able to have those, chunk plays. And then also not just, catching the ball through the air, but also like getting get what I've been asking for, man. Getting the students some space on a wide receiver screen and then having them run downhill before the ball gets to him. You saw this, it's the first time, and I'll give the kudos when I need to, right? It's the first time that I've seen the line actually get out there. And Gooseby, who was it? It was I think it might have been Gooseby and Baker that was able to actually get out there for this screen right there. But I thought it was fantastic. They allowed Wingo to be able to run downhill and catch the ball and get started, to top speed basically, because that's what Wingo has, right? It's not the quick, the shit that makes you miss like Silas Bolden last year, right? In small spaces, it's the top end speed that you get with Ryan Wingo. And he was off to the races, dude. He was able to catch chunk plays through the air and then also take it and go, get pay dirt and get real estate on the ground as well, man. Able to see what the dude can do when you get some nice blocking and get him in space. Ryan Wingo, player of the game.
Yeah, 5 catches, 184 yards. He could have had over 200 yards if he could catch it.
Good.
Jeez, man. Like, he's so interesting because – I know he hasn't had the season that a lot of people expected, and I'm sure he expected. And a lot of that goes with all of the problems that Texas has, which starts with their offensive line. And as you mentioned, Wags, like he's one of those guys that you have to get on the move so them miles per hour they can really show. Like he's not a quick guy, he's a fast guy.
If he don't make it in the NFL, he's going to be one hell of a player in the CFL.
Oh, come on. He's going to
make
it. Jeez, you got him going to freaking Vancouver?
I was making a joke, man, playing in the Grey Cup, bro. You can literally take off with the 100-meter sprint before the ball snapped.
Which nothing's wrong with that. My man Jackson Jeffcoat, former Longhorn, he went crazy in the CFL.
RB, Rod Babers went out there for a while.
Yeah, Rod Babers, like it's not no knock, but I think Ryan Wingo has Sunday aspirations. But yeah, if he could just catch the ball, like
Flutie played up there for a minute.
Yeah, but he had some big time catches
for a long minute.
Yeah. For me, I'm gonna go with Arch Manning. Like, again, it wasn't pretty. Those first 3 quarters were rough. They were rough, man. Like a African brother needed some lotion, just rough. And see, and look, just figure it out. Maybe this is it. Maybe we thought this from Oklahoma. We thought, okay, this team's going to get on the roll. They found something. They go against Kentucky. What the hell was that? They come back for the first 3 quarters. What the hell is that? And then in the 4th quarter, man, you scored 24 points. You hit Emmett Mosley on that fade route. You hit Ryan Wingo on the deep route. You hit Parker Livingston on that out route, which there was very tight space. So he had to toe tap that thing. You gave your team your life and your body by putting it on the line, which has been put on the line all year long because this offensive line is so freaking leaky. Arch Manning has just been getting clobbered all season, and you're still willing to run the football and try to give your team the best situations possible to be successful. And you might have got from that, where who knows what his availability is next week. I haven't seen anything online talking about Arch Manning, but then again, I haven't looked.
Yeah, knowing Murphy's Law, it'll surface as soon as we get out of the post game. So
yeah, but dude, that was a just grimy, tough, hard-nosed 346 yards and 3 touchdowns. 29 for 46, not the best.
This is his best game of his career so far, right?
I say yes. To bring your team back for sure.
That too. In on the road in a hostile environment, them staring down the barrel of a 2-year losing streak, 2-year slide at home, right? And then just thinking that they're crawling out of it, and then all of a sudden, just now, I'm going to stomping you back into this hole, man. Caldwell sealing a deal, honestly, but still, yeah, absolutely. Arch, I don't know if this is true or not. I'm saying Arch will be out 2 weeks minimum. That's what
we don't know that yet.
That's what people are saying in the comments here.
No, man.
There hadn't been a diagnosis yet, so
yeah. Somebody asked why do I always make these black-white jokes? Because that shit's funny. That's why. What the hell? Like, because it's funny. We're being sensitive. We're being sensitive, then I'm not trying to. No, it's funny. We think it's funny around here. That's why I do it. Let's stop that. Like, come on. But let's stop.
I'm laughing now. I'm laughing at
the yeah, it's funny. Oh, shit.
we can say it because we're comfortable with it. That's why we can laugh about it.
Skin that needs some lotion. That shit is
right. Like people that can laugh about it are fucking comfortable about it.
Yeah,
they don't do anything bad about it.
It is rough. That's what the first 3 quarters was. Damn it, it was rough, and I'm glad it changed. So, Wags, you put Ryan Wingo. I put Arch Manning. That's our offensive player of the game. Brought to you by Clean Calls. Let's get to the defensive player of the game. Brought to you by Kenfield Golf Cars. Hey, man, if you're looking for a newer pre-owned golf cart, we got great news for you. Kenfield, our guys at Kenfield Golf Cars, right around the corner, founded since 1979. They have an unparalleled selection of different golf carts available, new or used. So if you have an old one that you want to just get the new gadgets and get all plushed out and iced out, and just upgraded, they will hook you up that way. Or if you want a brand spanking new golf cart that you could ice out and just completely, put in just any type you want, any kind of golf cart that you want that Kenfield can do, they will hook you up. They are the best in the business, and nobody does it better at Kenfield Golf Cars. So check out their website at golfcars.com, or give them a call at 512-258-8515 and tell them that Texas Sports Unfiltered sent you. All right, Wags.
15-14. LSU, go Bengals. Go Bayou Bengals. 15-14 over little brother right now.
Yeah, man. Battle. That's a tough place to play. Garrett Nussmeier, you dealing with
Death Valley.
That's a tough place to play. All right, Wags, your defensive player of the game, brought to you by Kenfield Golf Cars.
Alex January kind of pulled the curtain back a little bit earlier with this. Not only just for the sack and a half that he recorded tonight, but also just him stuffing the run, him plugging gaps, and him, demanding double teams and allowing other people to scrape. You see Anthony Hill from time to time be able to get out there and just it almost look like he's unevaded, like just not even hit from time to time. It's because Alex January demands that much attention, and it was on full display last night. And also recovering a fumble as well. He was all over the place. A lot of the times the big guys don't get to eat. He ate tonight.
Yeah, only 63 yards rushing for Mississippi State tonight. And I know folks are going to be like, but they had that big explosive running play. That's considered a pass, that little pitch that Blake Shapen had to Booth.
And that's an anomaly too. That's a break. That's somebody making a football.
Yeah,
that's actually a credit to Shapen, right?
Leon Golafau was horrible on that play. That was one of the worst angles / efforts that you're going to see. Leon Golafau, he knows that he's better than that. I'm sure Johnny Nanson's going to give him an earful, him and Pete Kwiatkowski. But, yeah, that's, you're right. That's one of those anomaly things. Like, it was just Blake Shapen making a good play.
Yeah.
Broke down your defense at the right time. So, but overall, 1.5 yards a carry, 43 rushing attempts to account for only 63 yards of rushing offense for Mississippi State. This defense, they're still locked in. My defensive player of the game, brought to you by Kenfield Golf Cars, I'm going to go with Jelani McDonald. 14 total tackles, 5 solo. Michael Taft's out.
Stepping in, exactly.
That's the biggest thing. Michael Taft being out, Jelani McDonald, what are you going to bring to the table, bro? Derek Williams, Xavier Filsaime, they did well the time that they were, interchanging. But Jelani McDonald, you wanted to take over as one of those big-time players for this team, wanted to be those leaders. We know he has great size, great IQ. Ethan Burke's up there, Ted. I thought about Ethan Burke. I really did, because he made some big-time plays, especially at the end. 7 total tackles, 3 solo, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss, and Ethan Burke was huge towards the end of the game. So,
but McDonald was also covering people too. Like he was in coverage as well, man. Like,
I think I'm putting Mookie Tav not being available on a high pedestal. So that's the only reason why I don't have Ethan Burke, Ted. But he was there. If I had to do 2 of these, Ted, Ethan Burke's right there.
For sure.
Ethan Burke, man, that dude, he just makes big plays. Going back to last year against A&M, like he loves clutch time.
When it's hard to pick a defense, when it's hard to pick these things, that's usually a good sign, right? When it's hard to pick a defensive player of the game, it's usually a good sign.
Yeah. Jake agrees with you, which appreciate you, Noah. Appreciate you as always, dog. Man, Noah, that $49.99, appreciate that. But Jake agrees with you, Wags. Thought that Alex January had a really good game. So those are our defensive players of the game, brought to you by Kenfield Golf Cars. Now for the offensive play of the game, brought to you by Paul's Motor Works, which they've been doing it since 2000, providing complete foreign domestic automotive repairs. They specialize in BMW, Mini Cooper, Mercedes-Benz, Porsche, Volkswagen, but they can work on any car, any make, any model. It doesn't matter, from oil changes to tire rotations or any major repairs. Don't trust your car with just anyone. There's a lot of sleazy car guys out there. Paul and his team at Paul's Motor Works, they're not those guys. So your search for a good mechanic, it's over. Just go see Paul and the team down there off of 2222 and 620. If you want to find out more info, go to pmwaustin.com. Wags, the offensive play of the game, brought to you by Paul's Motor Works.
I got to give a little splash to our guy Caldwell, man. Matthew Caldwell able to come in there and just seal the deal. I mean, it's kind of like low-hanging fruit, but I'm prisoner of the moment. I mean, being able to sit there and deliver it and put it on a platter.
Yo, 1 for 1, 10 yards, 1 touchdown. Ice cold.
Lend me some sugar. I am your neighbor, please.
Yo, ice cold is tough. Like, can I stretch a little bit? Like, can I get loose a little bit? Just cold, man. That's tough.
I know it's only 1 play, but it is the play of the game, bro.
Well, this is twice that he's done this. Like, he did this against Florida. Arch gets knocked out. His helmet comes off on the last drive. Matthew Caldwell comes in the game, throws a dart to, I think, Ryan Wingo. And then in this game, like, hey, Matt, you haven't been playing, but can you come win the game for us so we can keep our season alive? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how much pressure you have to have? And just to be calm and collected. Like, and then there was a play before a false start. He was letting Emmett Mosley, the fifth, he was like, yo, you're wrong, bro. Like, get back on this side. Which, who knows if maybe it was Matthew Caldwell's fault on that play, because, again, it's not like he has much experience with Steve Sarkeesian. All he's doing is practicing, and then you throw him into the fire of a big-time SEC game on the road just to keep your college football playoff hopes alive. Son of a bitch delivers. Are you serious? Matthew Caldwell, your balls are gigantic, bro.
Huge.
They're huge, man. Like, that's different.
Stark too, to let the dude eat like that too, right? To give the dude the
goal line fades.
Goal line fades. About win.
Nobody really throws goal line fades anymore. Like, this is a very difficult throw. You have to have the proper touch, the proper air, like the tight window that's going to be in. You don't want to throw it too hard out of bounds. Yeah, like, I mean, and Emmett Mosley, I guess I got to go with him, like, catching the pass. So you're going with Matthew Caldwell. Like, to drag your foot, bro. I didn't think there would be enough evidence for them to call it a touchdown.
Right, because it was incomplete on the field, right? Yeah, and I was just like, well, that sucks, you know.
And like, you didn't know if he maybe bobbled it a little bit. Like, once his left foot came up and he was now out of bounds, Like, did he hold on to it? And the dude did, man. The dude's been hurt. Like, where would this team be if Emmett Mosley started off healthy? Like, I know he can't fix the offensive line and their struggles, but I think the offense would have been a little bit better. And now that he's in the mix, now that he's getting acclimated and stuff, like I get why the freshman ain't getting no playing time. Because I've been like all y'all, wondering, man, I see all these freshmen at these other schools, these 5 stars and former All-Americans and blue chippers. They're going crazy and they're getting opportunities. And then I look at Jamie French and I look at Khalid Lockett and Michael Terry, and I'm like, damn, these Texas 5-star freshmen ain't getting no bump, ain't getting no opportunity, ain't getting no tick. Sark, what gives? Prove to me why this is the case. All right, then. I get it now. Emmett Mosley V could play some ball. And his other fade catch where he had to fall in the end zone, where it was a little crowded, that arch through for the comeback, that was sweet. So, yeah, man, Emmett Mosley V, hell of a play, dog. Welcome to Texas football. Glad you're here. Glad you showed up. And if Matthew Caldwell's the guy next week, that doesn't make me feel good at all. But I wouldn't have felt good if Arch was the guy next week either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
especially because
sure.
I respect Vanderbilt that much.
Right.
So, like, I do think Arch is still a step above Matthew Caldwell. Like, let's not get it twisted. Matthew Caldwell hasn't done anything. He had a long run. He had a hell of a throw tonight. He had a hell of a throw against Florida in clutch time, too. Other than that, we haven't seen much Matthew Caldwell. He's just been handing it off. So, Texas fans, I get being excited. I'm glad you're all excited, but let's stay even kill if Arch Manning isn't available against Vanderbilt next.
We got to breathe, right? We got to temper expectations.
Because Matthew Caldwell, it would be dope if he became Tom Brady and we didn't know. Like, I'd feel bad for Arch, but hey, the show must go on. Like, Drew Bledsoe, you cool? Drew Bledsoe's well off. Drew Bledsoe's had a nice life. You know, even though Tom Brady became the man. I'm not saying that's good Matthew Caldwell, but I know there's Texas fans right now that are probably thinking like that. So I tell them.
I know damn well there's Texas fans that probably think that.
Oh, yeah. I tell them.
This fan base is so damn crazy. Right?
I love this fan base.
It is. Yeah, I mean, the hell, man. You want entertainment? Just go into a chat room. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Just go into a Texas chat room for
beautiful people.
Absolutely. You will see all kinds of emotions in that chat room. You will see all kinds of them. You just sit back, make yourself a drink, and just watch them go. Just like, oh, this is a good one. Here we go.
Yeah.
By the end of the night, you'll be like that Shia LaBeouf meme, to where you're just like crying. You know, he's watching that shit in the theater, his own movie in the theater, where he's crying, he's smiling, he's all types of emotions. It's an emotional roller coaster. This
emotional roller coaster, man. That's what it is. All right, time for the defensive play of the game, brought to you by Moonshine Patio Bar and Grill. Moonshine Patio Bar and Grill is a place that takes you back to a simpler time. Comfortable, relaxed, familiar, easygoing. Moonshine, they greet guests like family, serving up a great cooking experience with an innovative take on American comfort food. Moonshine, they can satisfy even the biggest of the city's taste. Fantastic dinners, amazing brunch, 20 years and counting. Moonshine Patio Bar and Grill have been doing it and doing it well. Go visit both of their locations, downtown or Avery Ranch, and go to moonshinegrill.com for more information or to make a reservation. Wags, your defensive play of the game brought to you.
I think it was it Hill's second sack that set up the punt for the punt that the ensuing punt that Niblett ran back.
I
think it was Hill's second sack that set that up. But I could be wrong. But anyways, Hill's second sack was absolute monstrous, man. It was absolute critical for us. I'm going to go with Anthony Hill's second sack. It is house money, though, if it was the ensuing play with Niblett.
No, it was that they lost the fumble. they lost the fumble on that play, and then they got it back. Mississippi State.
It was gotcha.
Yeah. But I remember Hill having a big time sack. So
what's that?
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna say
Hill had two. Hill had two pretty good sacks, or one real early in the game, and then the other one in crucial moments. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Anthony Hill as Anthony Hill's second sack.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Ethan Burke's sack toward the end of the game. I thought that play just really took the life out of Mississippi State, where they were already on life support at that point. The fans, they couldn't believe it. Jeff Lebby, you saw his face. The players, like, your psyche is a big deal. You know, it will just, here we go again. You know, that played into their heads like, yo, how did we not win this game? Because especially after that pitch play by Chapin to Booth, that was a big time explosive play that made it 31-14. Like, that was ball game in my opinion. That place was rocking. The cowbells were going off, and somehow Texas, 24 points in the fourth quarter for Matthew Caldwell to Emmett Mosley the fifth, and here comes Ethan Burke, big time hit, sack. All the penalties that Mississippi State had on that last drive, just self-inflicting wounds, man. And it was just in their head, and Texas, they capitalized on it.
It's kind of on cue because they were the 131st ranked team in terms of being penalized in the nation. We're 113th, right? They were 131. So, I mean, you saw it. You saw a dirty game, right? You saw a dirty game tonight, and rightfully so. Both teams lived up to that.
Yeah. Texas had 9 penalties. Mississippi State had 8. So, yep, there's that. All right, time for the final word before we get out of here. Brought to you by Sue Patrick for the best selection of Texas gear anywhere. Sue Patrick, check them out. Our friends at Sue Patrick, located off of 5222 Burnett Road in Austin, are terrific. You can go online to SuePatrick.com and get everything you need there, from polos to Arch Manning jerseys, grilling accessories, golf balls, hats, and plenty more. They got all the Texas gear that your burnt orange heart desires. Plus, the parking is free, huge parking lot, that they have, because it's Austin. So people are worried about that kind of thing. Sue Patrick, they'll take care of you. And when you go online and you make a purchase of $59 or more, you get free shipping. Can't beat that. So go visit our friends at Sue Patrick. Wags, your final word, my man.
It's been a long month, tenacious football, battling of adversity, right? And just a lot of ups and downs, peaks and valleys, and inconsistencies, right? There's been perseverance, but at times there's been questions to where, why can't we do the basic things, or why can't we do the little things correct? I think ultimately just pump the brakes, have a little bit of fresh air, and kind of clear the mind, and just know that best things are kind of still ahead of us. You're still in the fight, right? From week to week. And Mookie Taft said it best. Maybe he's right. Maybe winning is difficult in the SEC, right? Of course, I don't want to go ahead and quote an old Tom Herman, funny little bit there. But still, man, I think the mark of a good team is how resilient they are in tough times and in crucial times. It does give me concern that they are struggling to do the little things correct still, right? The things that I saw against Ohio State that I hoped were just week 1 mistakes are still hitting them this late in the season, which is a lot of concern. But guys, I've seen a lot of negativity throughout this month. At least they're winning. All right. At least it's survive. They're still in the fight, and they're still in the conversation. All you got to do is just get to the dance, right? That's just my take on it. It sucks that it's not dominant football right now. But ultimately it's, if you can learn from this and kind of piece it together, and thankfully we've had the defense and the special teams to kind of be the saving grace, right?
Yeah.
But if we're still able to win and playing this bad, then there's some optimism there.
Yeah, great point. Shout out to my man Levon Whitaker of KXAN for putting out this video after the game of Texas victorious against Mississippi State.
Mom and Dad, absolutely. I'm ready to run through a brick wall.
Yeah, that doesn't look like a guy that wants to go to the Tennessee Titans. I feel like that looks like a guy that's very passionate and wants to stay in Austin and continue to keep on building what he's done a hell of a job building in the 5 years he's been here. You saw him go hug Cooper Manning and Mama Manning, Archer's mom. I'm sure they were checking on their baby boy, seeing how he's doing, and hope he's available. I don't know. Again, he looked real hazy after that hit, which was a hell of a run to set his team up in the even better field position in overtime. But yeah, Wags, my final word brought to you by Sue Patrick. I mean, Ryan Niblett's incredible. Like, to go from a guy that I was thinking, man, maybe we should look at somebody else back there, because the first month, Ryan Niblett, when it comes to punt returns, it wasn't it. It wasn't clicking. He was letting the ball hit the turf too much to give Texas even worse field position. And all of a sudden, that just light switched and it turned on for him. And he arguably has been the best player in October for this Texas team. Yeah. Like what he did against OU, the life he gave you against Kentucky, what he did in this game, tying it up and just completely taking the wind out of the sails for Mississippi State and their confidence. Ryan Niblett is absolutely incredible. I still want them to give him more touches offensively. They gave him a handoff today, so I guess I'll take that, baby.
I need him as like a slot receiver, someplace that we can get him in like a wide receiver quick screen too, like in the flats already, right?
You can use him as a bootleg Percy Harvin, where Percy Harvin was everywhere for those Florida teams. Backfield, slot, wide, X, Y, Z, it don't matter. Just put the ball in his hands. He's earned that. Like, he's earned that. So kudos to him. This defense, it was a rough one these first three quarters, but they settled down, got some big-time stops without their leader, Mikey Taft. Jelani McDonald, hell of a game. Anthony Hill, Ethan Burke, Colin Simmons continues to be disruptive. Alex January, as you mentioned, Wags. Like, guys really stepped up today, and when they needed them, they made some big-time plays. This offense, that fourth quarter, immaculate. Like, take that fourth quarter and run with it for the rest of the year. Offensive line, when it comes to pass protection, fourth quarter, that's what you need to do. Give Arch time, or Matthew Caldwell, whoever the hell's taking the snaps, give them time to make them throws. Give them time for those receivers to break open. You know what I'm saying? You saw those comeback routes. You saw those out routes. Arch was putting them things on the money. You saw that fade route. Like, the deep ball was there. You got Ryan Wingo in the mix on those screens where he could get going and get those explosive plays where Arch Manning doesn't have to do much. Like, the formula is there. The blueprint is there. We've seen it. We've seen it against Oklahoma. We've seen it in this fourth quarter against Mississippi State. I get Mississippi State, their defense, they are not the 85 Bears by any means, but
right. No, good.
Take those positive things that you did and try to put them with your personnel more consistently. You know, I appreciate the coaching job of figuring it out in the fourth quarter, even though it took long as hell. That's what you're supposed to do. That's why you're getting paid $10.4 million, Steve Sarkeesian, and the rest of your coaching staff's getting paid handsomely too. Mid-game, when you have to make adjustments, do it. Do it. Make those adjustments. Understand how they're playing you. That's why everybody has freaking tablets on the side. Figure that out in time, adjust, and then play chess match with the offensive defensive coordinator on the opposing team like you're supposed to. And they did that well in the fourth quarter and overtime. And this is a big time culture win for this team. This is also one of those wins where, damn, Wags, they're keeping the fans, they're keeping the hope alive, even though it still might not be there. Like, I still don't feel good about Vanderbilt. But
resiliency something though, right? Like resiliency something to hang your hat on, right? Like always faithful was our motto in the Marines Corps. It just, for some reason, it's stupid as it sounds, just having that little saying always kept you, faithful or hopeful in shitty times, man. And maybe it just comes down to that simple. Maybe it's just that simple for the Longhorns. Just have a positive thought, right? Let me ask you one more question before we get out of here, man. All right. Now, there's been a lot of tell with this Longhorn team and just how resilient that it has been. Moving forward, ultimately, do you think you've seen enough to have a convincing run to get to the playoffs? To think that, all right, because before this game, I thought maybe that, trying to temper expectations, we're seeing 4 losses out of this year, all right? I didn't even, I put maybe a loss to Vandergrift, but also, there's Georgia that still looms in the air, but also there's Texas A&M at the end of the season, right? You got, with what we've seen, you got to think that at least 2 losses are upon us, right? Is this a game, as sloppy as you played, is this a game that can really kind of wake you up and give you some type of an epiphany or an enlightenment?
You would hope. Realistically, I don't think so. I just think that this team, I got the hiccups now. Mississippi State gave the game in a way. Why would you punt to Ryan Niblett? That's stupid. The play on the field goal where
you left 20 seconds on the play clock too, right?
Yeah, and then just like, again, you're hitting Arch after he throws the ball incomplete on 4th down, get the roughing the passer. You're diving into guys' legs to keep drives going. Like, Mississippi State did some dumb shit tonight.
Yeah,
right. So they, as tough and as much of a win this is culturally, and just how proud I am of this team for pulling it off tonight, and as well as the coaches did and just everybody involved of this victory, Mississippi State did some dumb shit tonight. So that doesn't make me feel good at all. And the teams that they're playing next, maybe not Arkansas, but Vanderbilt,
right, yeah,
Georgia, Texas A&M, all of those teams are better than Mississippi State.
And sorry, man, one more. You mentioned blueprint. The blueprint's obviously there. Does the blueprint sometimes take too long to develop? Meaning like the play, like our plays, are there too many actions in our plays, to get them, develop? You mentioned, the offensive line to just stick your blocks a little bit longer, right? To give Arch Manning some time, or to give Caldwell some time, whoever it is moving forward. Is that too much to ask? If the blueprint just takes too long to get going there, do you maybe simplify things and get shorter routes or quicker developing plays? You mentioned adjustments. That needs to be the way going forward, correct?
Yeah, like, you just got to be able to adjust, like, whatever the defense gives you, and try to have this offensive line hold up as much as they can. Like, Mississippi State, they were exhausted in that 4th quarter. They were doing all types of blitzing and flying around and stunting, and they were giving this offensive line problems. 4th quarter, they got a little fatigued. Them legs start to go. So Steve Sarkeesian didn't get that same pressure, and they were able to hold the ball longer, to make those throws down the field. So you want this run game to be better, but Travian Wisner had some solid plays, late in that 4th quarter on screens.
Gritty plays, yeah, man, gritty plays.
Making guys miss and stuff. So that's promising, but I'm taking it with a grain of salt, because I thought Mississippi State had 3 huge plays that cost them. that Texas capitalized on, and that's kicking it to Ryan Niblett, diving at the legs on the field goal to allow Texas to keep the drive going, which Texas scored, and then the pass, or roughing the passer call late in the fourth quarter when Mississippi State was about to get off the field on the turnover on downs. So, hey, man, they're still alive. A win is a win. The Texas Longhorns, victorious, gets Mississippi State 45-38 in overtime to go 6-2 overall, 3-1 in conference play. They got Vanderbilt next week. We got you covered here on Texas Sports Unfiltered all week long. All of the shows absolutely immaculate. My man Wags does a hell of a job here. Shout out to everybody that's a part of the TSU crew. Like, subscribe, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X. We're everywhere. Get the app. Y'all know how we do. Again, Texas wins 45-38 in overtime against Mississippi State. He is Adam Wagner. I am Zay Collier. Y'all be cool.